year, 2025, have you as a business owner considered whether or not TikTok is going to be a platform for you to leverage to build brand awareness? Well, today, for our first episode of ToK Talks, I am joined by the lovely Rachel Charles. I'm a bit rusty on me live streaming over on these platforms. I am joined by Rachel Charles, and she's going to be sharing with you her journey into stepping into TikTok to build her brand. So without further ado, let me bring on Rachel, and I'll bring my drum roll.
Good afternoon.
That was rusty, isn't it? God blimey, I'm getting rusty on the intros. I need to get back on these live streaming streets. How are you, my dear?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me here today.
Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you, looking lovely and glamorous. So, Rachel, I'm going to hand the baton over to you for you to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do. I didn't even do that myself, but I'm gonna let you do your thing. So over to you, Rachel.
I'm gonna have to get you to do a run through of your power intro.
I know. By myself. Anyway, over to you, my dear.
So hello, I am Rachel Charles. I'm the founder of Own Your Wings. I'm a corporate career coach and speaker, and I work with overwhelmed female professionals and support them in going up in their career or out and transitioning out of their full-time jobs into sustainable businesses that they create without the burnout. So I help them to put the plans and strategies in place so that they can start living a life that they are designing rather than a life that's prescribed.
Oh, I love that. I love the power intro. I need to do mine as well. But yeah, because I'm always pushing you ladies along. I was like, what? I'm good.
Yours is down pat anyway.
Huh?
Yours is down pat, is there?
Oh, well, I do try. But it's good to have you, Rachel. Thank you so much. We've got Robert Barry has joined us on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for being with us today. Really do appreciate it. So, Rachel, thank you for being the first person that's joining me on ToK Talks. So we're talking about TikTok. So we know that there's been quite a lot of up and down with TikTok, whether or not it's going to be banned, what's happening. And we know also as well that depending on where you are in the world, TikTok's pretty regional. So for us in the UK, we tend to see more British creators with other regions dabbed in, other countries dabbed in. But there is this kind of unrest about it. So I want to know from you, why did you make the decision to look at, as a corporate career coach, what made you think, do you know what, I'm going to explore looking at TikTok for my business and my brand?
So in the beginning, I wasn't too interested in TikTok when it came to my brand, because I felt that it didn't fit. Regionally, yes, but also generationally, I just thought it's more for my sons, it's for younger people. I've got in that age now where I'm talking about the younger people. So I felt, it may not look as professional enough, but then when you scroll through it, you see lots of different people speaking about lots of different things. And then you came around, because this was during the time when I was looking at my YouTube strategy, what I'm doing over there. And you're just like, have you considered TikTok? And then you said it again, have you considered TikTok? And I just thought, okay. Yeah. This is the thing that my son is on. And I think back in the day, it used to be called Musical.ly. Then it had a rebrand and that kind of thing. And so I had a look at it and I just thought it is really good. It's one of those things. There's all the different platforms that we do use. And this one is one where, even as a professional, I was in corporate at the time, I'm scrolling on TikTok. So if I'm scrolling on TikTok and my audience is kind of like me, then they're going to be on there too. So why would I think that they would only be on spaces like LinkedIn, Facebook, and that kind of thing? So that's how I just thought, let me dip my toe in, and now I'm in both feet.
Yes, with both feet. And I just want to piggyback off of what you said, because I was pretty much the same as you. And I think in the early days of when TikTok first came out, I was like, I'm not doing that. That's for kids. It's dancing and pointing and all of this nonsense. It felt like it was nonsense to me. And as a serious business owner, right? Because we're serious business owners out here, we want to be taken seriously. We don't want to be like messing around with the kids' STEM. So I wrote it off completely. But then obviously we saw the rise of Reels, both Facebook and Instagram, and this explosion of short form content. And much like you, Rachel, I started to observe, and I'm like, okay, let me just see what's going on with this platform. Let's just observe it. And like you said, people like ourselves, of our generation as well, Gen Xers, chat.
Yeah.
There were different communities on TikTok that were our people, my people. And I was like, do you know what? Okay, let me start exploring this, and let me start creating, and let me start being really intentional with my message. And it's gone up and up and up from there. As you know, there's lots of different aspects of things that I do. But so as I saw, and one thing I like about TikTok is that the opportunity has come, it's quick, right? Like with all platforms, organic reach depletes, you're then competing against, you know, organic and paid traffic, but the opportunity for visibility is there.
Yeah.
And because what they've built with TikTok Shop as well, that people's mindsets now, and I know people don't like it, for people who were TikTok of old, they don't like it. But the point is that people are wired to spend and to buy. And we can't be put off by products, because there's the rise of the digital and service-based space TikTok as well. So from when I started taking it seriously, I quickly built community that then converted to my subscription, that then got onto my 4-week program, and it's gone from strength to strength. So my job now is to open the eyes of those who are in my spirit and say, don't limit yourself, which is why I said to you, don't limit yourself, explore it. As business owners and marketers, we need to be experimenting as well. You don't waste time, but experiment. So have you been experimenting with TikTok, and what does that look? I haven't even got onto your questions yet. What does that look? You know, we like to freestyle. What does that look like for you in terms of experimenting on TikTok?
I have been. So before, it was just, like I said, kind of dipping my toe in and doing a live here and there, and just trying to figure out what it was. And I would say, in the first few weeks, even though I'd done lives before on different platforms, and I felt that I kind of know what I'm doing when it comes to lives. When it came to TikTok, I was just like a deer in headlights, because it's a very different experience doing lives over there. And it's just like, what is all this flashy stuff? These people just jumping in, jumping out. You don't even know who they are, because it's a very different platform where hardly anybody has their name anyway. So it was just a very different experience. But going forward, and this is probably where your questions will come in, it's got a lot more structured, and I'm still experimenting, still trying different things. Even yesterday I tried something brand new and tried it again today.
What was that?
The green screen and the slides.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to, I'm thinking, do I need like a magnifying glass to see the slides and get them up? But that's been really good, and that has helped, I would say, in the last 2 days, to kind of keep me on track and focused with what the message is. So it's been good.
I'm glad that you are experimenting with the green screen, because much like you, and this was the conversation that we had yesterday in the Academy and Creator Meetup, where Priscilla mentioned that, oh my gosh, there's just too much going on. That's how I felt when I first got onto TikTok, in terms of how the screen and everything was set up. I was like, hold on, there's things that flash and pop up. I'm used to, nothing distracted me. But again, I just saw the opportunity for as you said, people coming in and out, but you're seeing fresh audiences all the time. And one of the things that, as I said, which is what I've put into the subscription, is use the green screen, because you can create your images in Canva, and then you can just bring them up, and it just helps to keep you on track. And that helps as well for your content to stand out. So I'm glad that you're
when they're scrolling, they're like, what's this? Needs something.
Absolutely. Well done, Rachel. Well done. So for those of you that are joining, welcome to episode 1 of ToK Talks with Rachel, who is a corporate career coach. We are chewing the fat for a little bit today over TikTok, and we're going to be sharing with you a little bit about the ToK Like a Boss bootcamp, which Rachel was a part of cohort 1. We're here just to encourage you guys to just explore color outside of the lines, because as we know, we're streaming this to Facebook, LinkedIn, and also on YouTube. And we know that with the corporate platforms, as business owners, we don't want to hurt our business and our brands. Rachel, I'm going off piste again, Rachel, but I know you know what I'm like. Did you have any fears around that in terms of getting onto TikTok? Will this be something that, you know, people won't take my brand seriously? Was that ever a consideration for you, or did you not consider that at all?
I did consider it, and that's why even though I had started doing little bits and pieces on TikTok, I wasn't even sharing it that much because I just thought, if I'm on TikTok, who's going to take me seriously? And even today, there are lots of people who, look at, if you say, yeah, I'm on TikTok, they probably think that you're just jumping around dancing and doing nothing. And you can use those things if it works with your business, but they don't take it seriously. But there's some people, it's funny when they say, oh, I want to start a TikTok channel. I'm like, oh yeah, so you're coming on board now, eh? But, that was
now
a
you're
thought.
coming on. Yes.
Yeah, now you're realizing. But yeah, it was a thought. And but I think it was just that reminder of, you can scroll through TikTok and find anything. So
Absolutely.
if everything is on there, then it's up to me what I bring on that platform. So.
Yes. Absolutely, 100%. We've got a couple of comments that are coming up, so that's good. Welcome in, everybody. I actually popped up the wrong graphic when I was doing it. It's supposed to be you. I was like, why's the boot camp on? So for anyone who's joining, welcome to today's episode. I'm just resetting. Episode 1 of ToK Talks with Rachel, who is a corporate career coach. We're talking about leveraging TikTok for your business and your brand in 2025. And the questions do come up about whether or not this is a platform that can be taken seriously. And it can, as you're hearing from both myself and Rachel. If you do have any questions, please feel free to jump in. Hello, Terrestrial Vibes. Welcome. And thank you very much for joining us over on YouTube. So Rachel, are you ready for your actual official questions now? Are you ready? Let me clear the vibes. Okay, make it super easy for you. So now we're just moving on to a little bit of the ToK Like a Boss bootcamp. So you signed up for cohort 1, which was in November, and had a lovely number of you, 14 of you that signed up. So what I want to ask you is, what was your biggest takeaway from the ToK Like a Boss bootcamp, which was focusing on TikTok live and marketing to build your business, really attract your ideal clients and your audience? What was your biggest takeaway for you?
The biggest takeaway for me was structure, and understanding. You spoke about the listener or follower journey.
Yes.
How they come in and what stage they come in at, and what they turn into an engagement and that kind of thing, and how to structure my lives in such a way that I'm grabbing them at the different stages that they're at. That was the biggest one, especially since, I was going live, but not regularly. And I really started going live on a daily basis in November. And when I started, I just got up, not got up one morning and thought, but I just thought, I need to start doing this. So from the Monday, I started going live. But although I knew my topic, it wasn't structured. And it was easy to go off tangent with whatever comments somebody came, or, where I was at the time. I wasn't in the UK, I was back in Grenada. Yeah. So there'll be questions about where are you and all that kind of stuff. And then I started talking about Grenada and the history of that.
Yeah, we love the history of Grenada. That's our island, right?
Exactly. Here's a view of where, and there was nothing wrong with that, but it was being able to know what's the structure, where am I now, and then how to bring them back. So when there was a part in the program about the structure and how you structure your videos, that was really helpful in getting me to say, okay, I'm going to be on here for this period of time. And especially since the lives, they were quite long, and it's with an audience that's very different to like Facebook and Instagram even. And so having that structure and going through that really that was my biggest takeaway from the program.
Yes. Because like you've mentioned with TikTok, and that's something that I identified, which is similar to YouTube Shorts, but also Periscope, because you have a wider pool of people that don't know you. So it's constantly cold traffic. The notification initially goes out to cold traffic. And then it's like, well, how do I, if they're at the beginning stage, we won't get into the technical side of it, because those of you who want to know, you've got to get on the boot camp.
I didn't want to say the terms.
You've got to know how to grab them. I don't like the hook thing, hook and anchor them. But how are you going to speak to them? How are you going to structure your life to be able to get them to stop their scroll, to click into the live and to start to take some action, which then moves into the next stage. So I'm glad that was helpful for you. We have got a couple of questions and comments that have come up. We might save the questions till a little bit later. We've got Susan Edwards that's jumped in, and she said hello to Janine.
Hello, Susan.
Good to see you. Terrestrial Vibe said he can't stay, but he's going to check back later. He had a question, so I'm going to keep his question. Let me just star his question for a little bit later, and this we'll kind of chop that up. So let's move on to the next question. I think you've kind of segued into it anyway, Rachel. How has the boot camp impacted your approach to going live on TikTok? You kind of led into that already, but in terms of whether it's confidence, you've mentioned a bit of structure. Is there anything else that's impacted your approach to going live on TikTok?
It helped me, and the structure was part of it as well. And I think even though I didn't have an issue going live, because I've done it before, not to say that I don't get butterflies every single time I'm going to go live, but going live on TikTok it was a very different animal. So I think, the approach is one thing. So if I'm going to do a Facebook live, it's like, okay, deep breath, press live. I know what I'm going to do. And I have an idea of what I'm going to get.
Yes.
When it came to TikTok, it was like, okay, I'm going live, but I don't know what is going to happen here. And there's going to be things flying across the screen and things popping up. And people are sending roses and gifts and all this kind of stuff. Yes. What is all of this?
Yes.
Or people come in and are they the person that I saw yesterday? Is that someone? It was just so much going on. So, but I think the boot camp and the structure and the information that you put in there gave me the same kind of confidence that I had on the other platforms. So LinkedIn, Facebook. I haven't done YouTube as yet. No, I can't remember. Anyway, I'll get there.
Not on YouTube yet, but we were talking about that yesterday as well. So yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So it gave me that same kind of, it helped with my confidence there, so that I can take what I learned from there and then combined it with going live already with what you had on the program. And it's just like, okay, that gave me the extra boost to say, right, so it's more. And that's the reason why I felt I needed to do the boot camp, because I wasn't too sure I was going live, but I wasn't too sure what else I needed to do to make it make sense.
And if it was landing. And that's good. It's good. So that it shows a number of different things. Well, number one, as a business owner and marketer, you were willing to experiment and have that mindset to understand how you can leverage it. Because at the end of the day, if something doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But it's about being quite open to that. And then bringing obviously by default, your skill set and your expertise to reach your audience and connect with them, but also your experience with going live. So it's like we've already established on this live today, you're not new to going live. You know, you've been live streaming for a while now. How long have you been, would you say you've been a live streamer? Because it's been a while. I know we connected way back in the day.
It's been a while now.
Yeah, how long have you been live streaming?
Before that period where we were all locked away in our homes, isn't it? So maybe about 5 years now.
Wow. So yeah, so
you're that. Yeah, I need to go back into my old videos. Yeah,
you should.
Yeah.
So you've built your live streaming muscles. And the thing is, what I will say to you, Rachel, is that, you know, when you joined the bootcamp, I had no issues or concerns about you managing the live stream side of it, because we've worked together. You've done, you know, I know what you're able to. You're very, very confident, and you command the screen very well. So what I think I wanted for you is to take what you've already built and your skill set on other places, and then bring it. And I think that you've done that very, very well so far. So I think for you, it's going to just continue to go up, as long as you know, have that mindset. Don't worry about, I've said it all before, can I manage it for the hour and whatever not. I think you've got the structure and you're flowing in your cadence very, very well. So well done. I'm going to move on to the next question. I've got a couple more questions for you. Is that all right, my dear?
Yep.
And if any of you that are watching us today, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, do let us know. And I want to throw them out to Rachel to answer. Anyway, Rachel, you're on the spot. So can you share a memorable moment or success story that you've had since joining the boot camp? What has been your success story?
So again, it's still kind of linked to what you spoke about with the structure and how to engage people and things like that. And one of the things that I wanted to figure out, and I'm still getting my head around, is like using the subscriptions in TikTok. And when I implemented some of what you said in the lives, each time I've said it, I've been able to get another subscriber. So for me, that was the success story for me, that I know that when I structure it and I say, and I use it in the way it's supposed to, because it's about, for me, I'm on there because I want to find my tribe. I want to build my community as well. And I've been able to find them and get them into like the bigger network that I've got when I was able to use those tips and tools.
Yes. And you've got some amazing things that are going on that we're going to talk about. So just for those who don't know, when you refer to subscriptions, what exactly is that? Because I don't want to take over. What I will say to those of you that are actually watching very, very quickly is that don't rule out TikTok. There's so many opportunities, right, for monetization. Of course, as business owners, we have our own products and services, but there are things within TikTok that you can leverage, like subscriptions, to help move people through the actual customer journey, buyer's journey. And that is a great way of subscription. So Rachel, what exactly is a subscription?
So it's where people subscribe to your channel in that they pay a small amount. It can be anything from like $3.99 all the way up to, lots of higher figures. But sorry,
I think it's actually less. I think it's like £2.99.
Yeah,
they get a discount first month, and then people customize it. I know one gentleman who charges like 100 or something for his.
It can go up to quite a bit. But it's people who want to hear more from you and who want to be part of your community, and then you give them exclusive offers, information, that kind of thing. And behind the scenes, there might be those people who are on there quite a bit and they might want to ask questions, but they don't want to put it directly on the screen. There's a behind the scenes part in there where they can make their comments, ask their questions, and you can reward them in different ways. So you can have subscriber only lives. So when you're going live, it's just you and your subscribers. So you can give them a bit more information because they are the ones who are there, and a bit more, what's the word, plugged in. What you're doing. And they know they're not just the fresh people that come all the time. What I say is, if you're a subscriber, you know what I speak about, and if there's you can suggest the topics. I did start saying you can set the topics, but sometimes I don't know what that topic's going to be. So you can suggest the topics, and that's what we can talk about. And like what I say as well is, if you're a subscriber, then you get the same offers that I would offer out to my clients when it comes to coaching opportunities or events that are coming up and that kind of thing. So there are the perks of being a subscriber to somebody on TikTok, and they help as well. I mean, I've got someone who comes on to every single live. I must ask her her name.
Her name, Rachel. You need to know her name. It's difficult, isn't it? Sometimes
it's just lovely how they come on, and because it's like they're invested in it now. Like the other day, I was getting to the end of my live, and she was like, "Remember to tell them about the webinar." I was just like,
yes.
So it was so helpful. It was just so helpful to have somebody else there who I didn't ask to, but they like the content, they feel part of it, and they're helping and supportive as well.
Yes, absolutely. One of the things that I love about subscriptions as well is there's some things that I don't like, but that's a conversation for another day. One of the things that I do like is that when you can have subscriber only comments or chat, so you can kind of switch so that they're the only people that can talk. So there's that whole thing of FOMO, gamification in there. And also when you're doing your subscriber only lives, what I do like is that it does preview to the public, but they can only watch it for a small segment. So if you're saying something that is kind of like, you're creating that fear of missing out, then people tend to, I've had people subscribe off the back of that.
To get into it.
Live. And what I tend to do to differentiate, and I will use the green screen like you've learned how to do as well. But primarily what I'll do is that when I'm doing subscriber only content on TikTok, it's definitely always the green screen with the slides. So when people come, they're like, what's going on here? And then obviously they get to preview it. Then you can get leverage that. So what I would say to you, Rachel, coaching moment for you, because I know one of the things is like, how do I use it? What I would say when it comes to your subscriptions, I would leverage the green screen for that and have a very clear call to action on there. Because then people, as they're coming in, and then factor that in to your strategy, guys. Hot seat coaching. Then
Let me get a notebook.
Yeah, and then just think about maybe, because you talked about on our meetup yesterday about having the 3 days that you're doing the live.
Yeah.
2 be public, 1 be subscriber only. And the subscriber only one be the green screen one, because it will preview to other people. And that's how you'll get I've had that happen. So that's how you'll get new subscribers in as well. So just start thinking about how you can use. So guys, listen, you're hearing in real time some of the things that you can do. That's great. And then
that's a good idea.
In your subscriber base, that's you're warming people up to your webinars and so forth, which you're going to talk about in a moment. So Susan has said amazing results.
Thank you,
cheering
Susan.
you on. Susan's also part of the academy and the creator community. So I don't like to wait till the end of a live for the calls to action. So we've been mentioning about you having a webinar. So what is that? Tell us a little bit about what you've got going on at the moment, Rachel.
So because I mainly help people to transition out of their full-time jobs into the businesses of their dreams, I speak a lot about surviving corporate. What do you need to do to stay sane whilst you're in there, as you try and tunnel your way out? I have a webinar next Wednesday. That's the 15th of January, 7 p.m. UK time. And it's called, it's on career planning, but it's staying in or getting out. And it's looking at what you need to do at whatever stage you're in. So I speak a lot about getting out, but for some people, it isn't about getting out. They're happy with working and they just want to get up the ladder. And for those, I speak to them about not just staying stuck and staying stagnant, because I'm not quite sure sometimes which is worse. Yes. If, you might not everybody wants to be a business owner, and that's absolutely fine, but just don't stay stuck. We're not trees. Yeah. So this is, what tips do you need if you just feel that I've been sitting in this seat here for 20 years and, nothing else is happening. I feel a little bit stuck. I'm speaking about the things that, you might be in corporate for a very long time, but sometimes you can just be a cog in the system. And what are the things that are floating around in corporate, but they're not telling you, and what is keeping you stuck? Yeah. So, and what choices that you make, because we're at the beginning of the year, and this is a time when some of us might set resolutions, some of us might set our intentions and that kind of thing, but they don't always go wrong, but they don't always come to fruition. But this is also the time when we're looking at, okay, what am I going to do that's different to what that was different to last year? So the webinar is looking at what choices are in front of us. How do you get the clarity to look at with which path you can go ahead on? So if you follow onto my page, there are links there to join on, and it's $3.99.
$3.99, not paid $99. People love the $3.99. But Rachel, at the end of the live, just drop it into the comments as well on the YouTube channel. If you send me the link, I'll put it into the description on the Boss It Live Creators YouTube channel. But at the end of the live, just put it into the comments. So guys, you've heard, it's such a wonderful opportunity, and Rachel has a wealth of knowledge. She knows her stuff. We don't co-sign trash or rubbish here, do we, Miss Rachel? Anyway, for the purpose of time, we're going to move on to the next question. So I'm going to say, with regards to the 4-week bootcamp, as I said, this is about helping business owners really start to leverage TikTok effectively and have a marketing strategy, but also leveraging live video very, very intentionally to get those conversions. And moving, as we said, there's different stages, and how you can use the in-house monetization tools to then move them as a low barrier to entry, move them into and on. So the doors are open for cohort 2 of the bootcamp. So I'm going to be sharing information. We're going to be linking that in the actual chat. But what I'm going to ask you now, Rachel, is what advice would you give to someone who is considering the next cohort of the ToK Like a Boss bootcamp?
I think whether you've gone live before or whether you haven't, but it's something that you've been thinking about, it, just jump in. You can't really go wrong. It's skills, tools, strategies that you're going to be able to use, not just on TikTok. So even if you have that fear of, I'm not sure if TikTok is for me, you can use it in other places. The other thing as well is that some people might use as a barrier is, I don't have 1,000 people, and so I can't go live. I still don't have 1,000 people. I still don't understand how I slipped under the TikTok radar, but I was going live from 500 people. And there's a part of me that thinks, is it because of how I was using TikTok? I was putting reels out there. I was I was posting really regularly. So maybe the algorithm was like, oh, let's give her a chance.
Yes.
So, so don't put things up as a barrier as I can't go live as yet. Just do it, because at some point, if that's what you want to do, then you're going to have to, hit the criteria and go live at some point. So at least you've got all the tools and tricks under your belt.
Ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
We stay ready. Get ready and stay ready. So then when it's time to launch. And that's that you've made a valid point about TikTok. A lot of people are like, oh, well, there was that you've got to get to 1,000. TikTok have actually officially via TikTok, Sell with TikTok Shop UK, they announced it on their live stream that their official number now is 800. However, we're all seeing that when we're using the platform effectively, which we talk about on the bootcamp, you'll be able to go live with a lot less. One of my accounts on TikTok has 270 followers, and around about the 200 mark, I was able to go live on that page because I was actually utilizing the platform. Like with all of these platforms, they do reward you when you start using them. So we don't, it's definitely the time to dig in. So thank you very much for saying that, Rachel. Final question I have for you, Rachel, is coming up. But for those of you that are watching us today, we're talking about leveraging TikTok for your business and your brand on the first episode of ToK Talks with Miss Rachel Charles, founder, owner of Own Your Wings, corporate career coach to the gods. So if you are interested in finding out more about the webinar that's going to be coming up, we're going to link all the information below. Rachel's going to share that. And if you want to know about the Talk Like a Boss Bootcamp, that's going to be linked as well. Cohort 2 starts on Monday, the 10th of February. And there is an early bird discount. Which, Rachel, I think you missed the early bird for the last round, didn't you? I think you missed it. I think
I did, yeah.
You're still signed up, so it's still great value. And there's an option for payment plans as well, guys. So definitely make sure that you jump in. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. Rachel, we have got a question that came from the audience, but I'm going to ask you my final question. How has the community, because I'm big on community, we were talking about this yesterday, I'm big on community. So how has the community and the support from the Talk Like a Boss Bootcamp helped you in not just your live video journey? I don't think it helps you your live video journey specifically, but generally with your own journey. And I can think of somebody at the moment, but I don't want to ask you, but how has it helped you, the community support?
It's been helpful because, like you said, this community and its support. So, and even not just in the bootcamp. So there's other things that I've done with you in the past. It might have been accelerating, things like that. And there's still people that are sitting on my friends list from there, and they might not be around that much, but it's just nice to know that you kind of know who are the people that are like-minded and who are on the same kind of trajectory as you. So you know who's in that same tribe as well. And it's really good. So in terms of like my videos, the very first person to sign up as a subscriber was another Talk Like a Boss member. So that was really nice. And it's just that support. And again, like when I'm doing a live and somebody might drop in, it's just like, oh, I know. Oh gosh, what's there's some Hikes. What's her name? Is it Michaela?
Oh, Michaela Hikes.
Hikes.
I'm trying to push her to do. Are you doing a live with her? Sorry,
I was in a live and then she jumped in, and it's just like, oh, it's really nice. And you just feel like, okay, I'm not here alone, just speaking to people who I don't know. But it's just really nice. And Perpetina might jump in, and then there's somebody else again who. Funky Soul, can't remember.
Yes, Twisted Funky Soul, Yasmin.
Which is just really nice. So it's just it feels like you've got that support that they're doing their own things, I'm doing mine, but we're still supporting each other as we're going. So that's been really good.
Yeah, that's something that's really important, and I'm very, very big, as you know, not just the bootcamp, but across the board with any communities that I create connected to my programs, is that I want to make sure that we foster support, and it's happening because you ladies are now doing the 30-day stories challenge, and you're all supporting each other with that as well. And so that's something that I really do encourage. And I just want to thank you as well, Rachel, for being a part of that as well, and being someone who's been willing to jump in and support other people, because I'm seeing you doing that now, and you always have. So I'm glad that has translated to you, and I know that that's going to continue to grow for you in terms of what you're doing. And you're going to build really, really amazing communities alongside the impact. So well done. Priscilla said, hi, girls.
Hi, Priscilla.
Priscilla, hopefully she'll be joining on the old boot camp as well. All right. So we got a question, guys. If anybody who is watching, I don't know why I'm saying guys. What is wrong with me today? Anyway, beautiful people.
Social media language. Hi, guys.
Hi. So for those of you that are watching, if you have any questions specifically for Rachel about anything that she shared, please feel free to ask. But we do have a question that I starred from Terrestrial Vibes. So he said, should I be working on it more? So he's referring to TikTok. He said he's going to check back. Dang, from the US, TikTok is so much extra work above and beyond YouTube. So he wants to know if he should be working on it a bit more. And this actually, Rachel, leans in a little bit to the conversation we had in the group yesterday with Miss Priscilla, who's here in the chat, who was saying pretty much the same thing as what Shane, Terrestrial Vibes, is saying. So what do you think about, should he be working on it more, Rachel? If it feels a bit too much work, what would you say to that?
I find TikTok like one of the easiest things to do.
Yes,
YouTube, I have not posted on my YouTube channel in over a month. And I was going weekly, and it's coming as well. It's coming back. But I haven't posted over because I see that as a lot of work. Do you know how much hours
goes into it? Yes.
Editing absolutely. And the caption, not the caption, the editing, the thumbnail,
optimization,
all of that stuff. For me, I just see that as so much work. When for TikTok, I just roll out of wherever I am. It's like, camera, we're going live. Come on, who's there? We're talking.
Let's be having it. Let's be having it.
It's just so easy. And then you can just get carried away for a whole hour. Can you imagine editing a whole hour's footage of film for a YouTube video to put that out there and make it polished? So yeah, I'm not sure how Shane does his, but just, I don't know, come away from, have fun with it.
Yes,
have fun with it. And I think it's one of the easiest places, I'd say. And I mean, you've always said it as well, and I think I'm really understanding it now, that when you go live, it's just so much less stress. You just click live, even if you mess up. I mean, to this morning on my live, I was just making up words. There were all these words that were coming out of my mouth, just meshed together, and it was just like, okay. If it was YouTube now, I'd be like, oh, here we go again. Let me say this properly, and let me get on the live. It's done. You correct yourself. You move on, and then that's it. You shut down your phone, go and do something else. That's
100%. And the
only thing that I find is I have to go back now, and it's just like, oh, I need to post the highlights, and I keep forgetting to do that. That's work.
But the thing is that the wonderful thing about highlights is that you have the whole piece of content there, and then you have the actual highlights. And I will say another coachable thing here, Miss Rachel, hot seat coaching as well, is that you could download that piece of, so those of you that are watching, one thing about the content is vertical. You can download that, and then it could be uploaded into your software and restreamed. I've been restreaming my TikTok lives onto YouTube, and it's been going into the Shorts feed. Anyway, I'm not just a pretty face.
Oh, okay.
I've been experimenting with that as well. So it's repurposable, and because it's vertical, because I wasn't sure that you could actually take the content and you could do a restream into the Shorts feed. My lives have been going into the Shorts feed, so I've been optimizing for both. So there's
if it goes further than a certain amount, does it stay in the Shorts?
It stays in the Shorts feed, and then it goes onto your page. So because you're going to restream, it'll be alive on the Shorts feed, and then it will go as a video onto your page. And then you'll just go and do your thumbnail on. Go and have a look on my YouTube channel. If you look at I've done a Community to Cash series. There's a couple of videos on there, but if you just have a look at the Community to Cash, just go and you don't have to watch it, but go and have a look at it. It was restreamed from TikTok, and it's had 100+ views on it. 100+ views.
So I need to look at the restreaming. Yeah.
Okay. Priscilla, so hello, Alicia said, hi, ladies. Alicia was also on cohort 1 of Talk Like a Boss. Good to see you as well, as was Susan, who said hello earlier on. Priscilla has said, other than the thumbnail, I've never done any of those extras on YouTube. Oh, Priscilla, and she's in the academy.
Priscilla's doing transitions, I've doing all sorts.
Priscilla,
zoom in, zoom out.
Priscilla, in any case, Priscilla, I hope you're going to be joining cohort 2 for Talk Like a Boss, because you need to be on it after our conversation yesterday. Susan said, Janine, you have been on so many platforms going live, and you are in the know-how. Thank you. I appreciate it. But just going back to just what quick, and then we're going to wrap up. So thank you so much as well, Rachel. Honestly, it's been great. It's always great hanging out with you on live anyway, because you just get it. But I would say as well, just, piggybacking off what you said, I agree with you 100%. Anything that you have to have a mindset towards things that are, do you know what, I'm going to try. And if you look at something as being like it's difficult, it's going to feel like it's a lot of work. Yeah. TikTok, like with anything, when you start something, remember my butcher's analogy yesterday, Rachel?
Oh, yeah.
You lot were like, butchers? It doesn't make sense, but why that? But like with anything, like when I first, as I said, when I first got into TikTok, I was like, this is a lot. And I'm a live streamer with 10 years experience. Live streaming doesn't faze me, except on the favorited app. Topic for another day. But literally, I think it's like with anything, once you put your mind to it and say, I'm going to give this my all and I'm going to try, it becomes like second nature. Live streaming cannot be any more difficult than anything else. But again, like I said with TikTok, there's opportunities for monetization through your community, and people are willing to gift. There are people that are gifting so much. They're willing to subscribe. They're willing to sign up. Said with Talk Like a Boss, when I launched it, day 1, 3 places were sold. By day 5, 10 spots were gone, because people are there. They're ready and they're willing to. So Shane, it's not too much work. Repurpose your content if you want to get started. Type your videos, but go live. No one has that much of an expectation for you. So Rachel, do you have any sort of comments or any questions that you want to ask or throw out to anybody? Feel free. It's over to you, and then we'll get ready to wrap up.
I think maybe just a comment. We're in 2025. There's so many things that, so many things that we want to do, and so many things that are sitting on our list of what we haven't done yet. And we sit there sometimes and we just think, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. Don't know if that's going to work. Just try it. It's 2025. Like, where are we? 9th of January. I don't want to be sitting here. And I keep saying that nearly, well, my TikTok people are probably tired of hearing me say it, like 9th of January, 2026. I don't want to be sitting here talking about dreams and goals and plans and ideas that we had in 2022 that's just rolling over, gathering, just dust and cobwebs through them, and you still haven't done them yet. Absolutely. Try it. If it doesn't work, try something else. If that doesn't work, try something else. And one of the things is, that's what I was talking about today, is, if it doesn't work, we stop and then we say, oh, it didn't work. And it, if we don't do that in any other part of our life, if it was in our job and it didn't work, we'll have to find a way, because we need to get paid, and we know that there's going to be a performance review. Absolutely. Anything else that's about us individually, whether it's weight, health, and I say that because I had cake and custard last night when I had no business doing it, and I should have had celery. Anything else, we hit those snags and we hit those hurdles, and it's like, oh, it doesn't work and it's too hard. But if it was for somebody else, we would do it. So we need to start 2025. We need to do it for ourselves.
Absolutely.
So if it's hard, just try it, because you're not going to go to your manager and go, oh, it's a bit too hard, boss.
I can't do it. Or I'm leaving. You wouldn't be doing that. You'd be like, no.
So we're trying everything. We're saying yes in 2025. We're trying it. Did it work? And try a different way. Not did it work, it failed, we moved. No, try a different way.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100%. I love
Note
that.
To self too.
Absolutely. We're all in that. So it's a journey. We're all kind of moving up in our journey, entrepreneurial journey. But one thing is that we'd have to have that unrelenting, I'm going after it regardless. It's, if things fail or feel like they're not working, you've got to take your feelings out of it. You've got to look at what are the lessons from this here? And we've got to be patient in the process. I think that's another topic for another day. So we could do so many live streams about this, where people feel like, oh, it's not working, it's not quick enough. By whose standard? because you want it to come quick enough. But have you learned enough or developed enough of a skill set to be able to achieve the thing that you want to achieve whilst you're in process? So that's one of the things I always say, you know, you have to, it's a continual learning. We're lifelong learners. We can only get to be the very best, the max out our capability from being intentional with continuing to learn and being in the pursuit of that. So yes, so thank you very much, Rachel. We've got another couple of comments that have come through as well. Susan has said, Rachel is fantastic right now, flowing with the queen.
Oh, thank you, Susan.
And she said that you're absolutely right, Rachel, as well. And she said, fail and move forward. So Rachel, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. I don't know if we're going to have time to do our TikTok raps. It's been really great chatting with you, and just continued success to you in everything that you do. So thank you very much.
And you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I end out the live, guys, again, what is, you know what I've really gotten out of me? I'm going to say, guys, again, look, knocking everything down. So before I end the live, thank you so much to those of you who have jumped in and chatted alongside myself and Rachel, who was with me today for the very first episode of ToK Talks. And I would like to just say that if you are wanting to know more about the ToK Like a Boss Bootcamp, it's a 4-week group coaching program which starts on Monday, the 10th of February. There is a combination on the bootcamp of obviously lessons learning, worksheets, as well as group coaching sessions. And there is an opportunity, if you would like to go for the VIP version, which will be the bootcamp plus a one-to-one session, coaching session with me. So everything will be linked. If you're on YouTube, it will be linked in the description. Those of you on LinkedIn and also Facebook, it will be linked in the actual comments, and it will be linked in the description of LinkedIn as well. But it's been so good to see you. Thank you to those of you on LinkedIn. Thank you to those of you on Facebook. And thank you to those of you that were on, what's the other platform? YouTube. We will see you again very, very soon. So yes, come and join us. And on the ToK Like a Boss Bootcamp, look, I'm trying to get to the actual graphic. Don't forget that there is an early bird discount at the moment for the bootcamp. So that's going to be on for the first 10 people that sign up. So the doors have just opened for that. So I look forward to having you on the bootcamp. And thank you very much, Susan, for being here. Susan said, God bless Janine and Rachel. Great session. Have a great rest of your day, guys. And we will see you back here soon. There'll be more of the bootcamp delegates, graduates that will be coming. I've got Leslie Ann that's going to be joining me next. And then we've got Yasmin from Twisted Funky Soul, who will also be joining and coming live. So take care. God bless. Have a good day. Bye.